Hi everyone, I'm Brandon and welcome back to News4Teens. On January 7th, the 118th U.S. Congress was sworn into office after finally electing a House Speaker. In this video, I'll discuss the key accomplishments under the 117th Congress, the midterm election results for the House and Senate, the journey to electing the 53rd Speaker of the House, and the high-level agenda of the 118th Congress. The 117th session of Congress convened on January 3rd, 2021 and ended on January 3rd, 2023, spanning from the final weeks of President Trump's presidency to the first 2 years of President Biden's. During this time, Congress enacted 328 public laws and 2 private laws. Some of the major legislation passed include the Black Maternal Health Omnibus Act of 2021 and the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, both covered in previous videos. More recently, on December 13, 2022, Congress passed the Respect for Marriage Act, which codifies gay marriage. The November 2022 midterm elections were a welcome surprise for the Democrats. Polls predicted a red wave in which Republicans would win the majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. Although Republicans gained the majority in the House, it was by a smaller margin than expected. Furthermore, in the Senate, Democrats secured a majority by picking up a seat. With 51 representatives instead of 50, Democrats no longer need to rely as heavily on Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. With respect to the House of Representatives, Republicans won 222 seats while the Democrats won 213. But before the members of the House could convene, representatives needed to elect a Speaker of the House. After 14 failed attempts and days of deadlock, Kevin McCarthy was elected Speaker of the House on January 7th. As a successor to Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries was elected as a minority House leader with unanimous support from the Democrats. He is the first black lawmaker to lead a party in Congress. Once McCarthy was elected, members of the 118th Congress were sworn in. This set of representatives features more representation than ever across both parties. There is a record number of women and women of color, especially Latinas and black women. Additionally, the House will have its first Gen Z lawmaker. In order to be elected Speaker of the House, McCarthy and his allies needed support from a bloc of conservatives, many of which belong to the Freedom Caucus and are ideologically the most conservative of House Republicans. Although the full extent of the concessions are unknown, some of the concessions and promises McCarthy and his allies made in return for their support include allowing any member of the House of Representatives to force a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. This would allow a single person to begin the process of overthrowing the current Speaker of the House. Adding members from the Freedom Caucus to committees, including seats on the House Rules Committee, which controls the bills that make it to the House floor, and giving representatives 3 days to review bills before they are considered by the full House. One of the powers of Congress is the ability to conduct investigations. Now that Republicans have the majority in the House, here's a list of areas they are planning to investigate: migrants entering the U.S. through the southern border, President Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan, the origin of COVID-19, the Department of Justice, including its actions in the search for classified documents at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort, and Hunter Biden's financial activities. McCarthy has also shared that the first bill the House will consider will repeal funding for hiring an additional 87,000 IRS agents over the next decade. With a Republican-controlled House, it is likely that Congress will see more bills that decrease or cap government funding. As mentioned earlier, the 117th Congress oversaw the passage of significant and major legislation. Already off to a rocky start, it remains to be seen how the 118th Congress will fare in comparison, particularly as the concessions agreed to by McCarthy and his allies could make even the day-to-day basics of governing more unwieldy and difficult, or possibly the agreements will incentivize the more moderate or centrist Republicans to work with Democrats. This all comes with a backdrop of the 2024 elections rapidly approaching in just 2 years. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new.